Hello YouTube, it's Ryan here with Hobbies of Man once again, and today we're going to be doing another first impressions review. Today we're going to be looking at Kajiki Chef. We're going to be looking at the first 5 chapters, and I decided to use 5 chapters because these chapters happen to be a little longer than the standard Shonen Jump chapter, which is 20 pages. These are about, the first one was like 70, and then all the other ones were in between 30 and 50 pages, so 5 chapters should add up to about 200 pages, which is usually a normal volume. So that's why I picked 5 chapters. It could have been 8, but I decided 5 was probably the right way to do it. And Kajiki Chef is a pretty interesting manga. It's written by Sanami Suzuki. It's published by Viz, I think. Well, actually, no, that's not true. It's published on the Manga Plus app, and it's a Shueisha title. And I think Viz would be the one that publishes it physically, but that's not the case because it's not physically able to be published yet. So it's just Shueisha's, and it's on the Manga Plus app, and it's actually free to read, so feel free to check it out. It's actually pretty cool. And the demographic here, as far as I can tell, is shonen, and the genres are action and cooking, and I guess there's an element of comedy there, but I wouldn't call it the main focus, so I wouldn't call it a genre of the story. In terms of adaptation, it does not currently have one because it doesn't have enough chapters to be considered for an adaptation. I think it's only on 25 or 30 chapters, and it could potentially go on for a long time if people like it, but it can easily just be axed as well, so I'm not sure. And the premise here is basically that we follow this kid who's kind of a loser, and he seems to be wanting to be a chef, and he seems to be an adopted son of a guy that runs a shop. But something he did made his like adoptive father have some disdain for him, and so he's kind of relegated to the loser, like dishwasher kid in the restaurant, which really sucks. And he wants to cook these magic animals called Kajiki, or kaiju, fish, right? Basically. And Kajiki are these basically like giant magical animals that exist in this world. A lot of them manifest as fish or seafood that flies in the sky that are quite gigantic. But we do see that there's like plant Kajiki as well, but most of them are animals. And eventually he gets to do so because he gets attacked by a giant Kajiki shark, salmon, I think, shark salmon. And as he's doing that, a girl that he's friends with steps in his way, gets her arm chopped off by the salmon shark thing, and he accidentally awakens this knife that he had grabbed into this Kajiki killing weapon, and so he saves his friend, and it turns out that these magic animals have the ability to heal people under certain conditions, and so he wants to hunt them all down in order to find the one that is able to do so, so that his friend can have her arm grow back so she can heal, and he can kind of like deal with the guilt that he's feeling, like, because she saved him, right? And it's actually really, really good. I actually kind of find it really artistic and really enjoyable. It's not like the best thing ever, and honestly, most of my enjoyment comes from the fact that it's a cooking manga. However, it's not a cooking manga that teaches you how to cook or that gives you tips on how to cook. It's mostly a like, hey, there's this fantasy aspect to this world, and we're going to make food with it, and we're just going to show you how the food looks, and the point is going to be like, hey, a battle shonen adventure followed by eating food, right? And it's pretty good, but I would have really liked it if, alongside all of this stuff, they kind of gave us recipes or tips and tricks about how to prepare real-life food, because I think that's just more fun, and it's a really enjoyable kind of way to learn about cooking, and given that I like cooking, I want it to be accessible to other people. But it is quite enjoyable, so I definitely recommend it if you like cooking and if you like battle shonen. You can honestly argue that, this is just a like yokai killing battle shonen, and it kind of is, but it kind of has a different dimension to it, which kind of adds this kind of element to it that I like. Because I am honestly pretty tired of the yokai killing shonen, kind of idea. I think we've overdone it. Bleach did it, and Blue Exorcist did it, and Black Torch did it, and Demon Slayer did it, and Doron did it, and Bone Collection did it, and Jujutsu Kaisen did it, and there's just too many of them in the Shonen Jump app, and I like them, but I don't want to read more of them. However, this one has enough to it that is quite different, and the art style is actually kind of the best part of this. It is somewhere between My Hero Academia's kind of like way of creating characters with like the aesthetic principles that, you know, Demon Slayer has. That kind of more like hyper stylistic 2D, like almost kind of trying to be like classical Japanese kind of looking art style. It's really, really good. I actually really like it a lot. And, you know, if Ufotable kind of ever got a hold of this, it would look really, really amazing because it'd be quite similar to how Demon Slayer looks, but with like slightly more My Hero Academia-esque proportions there. So, honestly, that's the best part of this manga. But I think the story is pretty interesting, and I definitely want to read more of it, so I'll get around to it later. But for now, the first impressions is that it's pretty good. You know, it's not a 5 out of 5, but it's not a 3 out of 5. It's like 3.5 out of 5, maybe 4.5 out of 5. No, maybe 4 out of 5, not 4.5. That's too much. It's not that good. But, like, you know, 3.5 out of 5. It's better than mid, but it's not peak, right? So there you go. That's what it is. And, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.